Good afternoon. This is Dr. Mack with another Bible snack. The other day I was cleaning up in my yard and I came across the thought of when Adam and Eve were in the garden and how punishment sometimes can be an act of mercy. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the story of Adam and Eve in the garden when they were kicked out, what they had done is they had sinned against God. God had said, do not eat of the tree of good and evil. But they ate of it anyway, which is equitable to a sin because they went against God's word. And anything that goes against God's word is a sin. So they sinned against God, and God says, hey, you have to be punished. So, in his punishment, he could have wiped them off the face of the earth, killed them, and started over with a whole new man and a whole new woman. But instead, he says, you know what? You went against my word. You're going to be punished. Man, you've got to work. You're going to work the fields. And it's not going to be easy because there's going to be briars and thorns and all this stuff that come up in the midst of your fields. But you're going to have to work them. And that's hard labor. And even today, we work to make money, whether it's in a factory, whether it's on an office job, whether it's on the farm. You work hard to make your money. You work hard to provide for your family. And that's part of the original punishment for sin. And then you've got the women who are painful childbirth. Childbirth itself is awesome, but there's pain in childbirth that women were punished with. That's why you hear the stories of women saying crazy things when they're having childbirth, or they're blaming the man. You did this to me, kind of stuff, because there's pain. But what comes out of that is a wonderful child. And then they are also made to be servants to men, not really servants to men, but subservient to men, which is always a struggle between man and woman. You know, who's in charge sometimes. But in that, God showed them mercy through that punishment because he didn't wipe them off the face of the earth. He didn't start over. He said, I'm still going to fulfill my plan through you all. And that plan would eventually be Jesus Christ for all of us to have, because he provided that first sacrifice and covered their sin, made them whole again. So if you've got a punishment that you're facing, or a punishment that you've had, don't look at it as a punishment. Look at it as an act of mercy, because it could be saving you from something even worse. That's my snack for today. Thank you.